This is Personal Injury Court.
It appears you all are suing Mr. Hargrove for injuries that you sustained when you went down a water slide at his park. You're asking this court to award you $200,000 in past medical expenses and $1.8 million for pain and suffering, for a total of $2 million. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Hargrove, your response to this is he got what he paid for in terms of going down a water slide. This is not your fault. He assumed the risk.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, now let's get into the legal sauce. Tell me how we got here, Mr. Simmons.
Well, I'm a family man, as you can see. I went to the water park with my wife and my son, and we had planned this for a while.
How old was your son?
He's 4.
So you're a real dad?
Yo, yes, sir, yes, sir.
Okay.
And I'm a water park enthusiast. I'm known around, they call me Big Sexy.
Okay.
So.
Why this park this day?
Well, the park actually had a new attraction called the Devil's Descent.
Okay.
It's one of the highest slides in the state, and I had to go ahead and make sure that I could get on, especially with my son being afraid of heights.
Heights make me nervous. I did this with my own son, who's now 28, trying to prove to him that I could do it, but I didn't end up the way you did.
It was the worst day.
Now, is this what you being prepared on the day of the incident to go down the slide? Is that you?
Yes, sir.
That's Big Sexy.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and you look pretty happy there, like you're excited and ready to have a good time with your wife and son.
I was.
Was your little boy excited?
Oh, he was excited. He was running around the park. I was trying to chase him and everything, trying to keep up with him. He's my everything, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Hargrove, tell me about your park.
Well, this park has been in my family for 3 generations.
Okay.
My grandfather started it 32 years ago, and then he passed it down to my father. I have been running it for the last 3 years. We get over 7 million visitors a year now.
That's a lot of folk.
That's absolutely a lot of folks. And with that being said, with those 7 million a year, we have no injuries.
Now, you've got this ride. What's the slide called?
It's the Devil's Descent. It's a brand new ride, and it's the new attraction. It's why everybody's coming to get a ride on that Devil's Descent.
Mr. Simmons, today you don't look as excited as you seem to be in that picture when you were about to ride the slide. Tell me how this thing happened.
I go to get on the ride. It's actually about a 25-minute wait.
Okay.
So I have my wife and my son stay at the bottom.
That kind of builds the excitement though, right?
Oh, it does. And I know he's excited. I see him down there jumping and waving, and I know I'm gonna make him proud when I go down this slide.
Now, Mr. Simmons, you submitted a few documents to the court. One is a picture of the slide. I want you, if you can, take your time, but I want you, and Sheriff Matt, if you'll help him get over to the plasma, I want you to explain exactly how this happened, because I've never been on this slide, and frankly, don't care to get on it. It's too high for me.
Yes, Your Honor.
Come on, cross over. Now, is this the slide that you went down?
Yes, Your Honor. It's about 150 feet up. So when you get at the top, you notice that you're very high up.
Okay.
It's immediate. Up here, everything was fine. Next thing I know, I get to this second slide right here, this second bump, and that's where I was in the air.
You went airborne?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
I felt like I didn't touch back down till about here. And that was scary, because about here is where I noticed I had to be going maybe 60, 70 miles an hour.
Okay.
I'm flying. When I come down here, I feel it just continue, and I get to the water. Instead of splashing in, it just kind of skipped across the top here.
Like a stone on a pond?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Exactly. It was the most traumatic feeling of my life. Then I continued to cross, immediately felt pain as I landed on the concrete, and then I slammed into the retaining wall. I was thinking, oh God, I'm gonna die.
Yes, sir.
It was the most terrifying experience of my entire life.
Yes, sir. You may return to the podium.
Thank you.
Now, Mrs. Simmons, I've been talking like you're not in the room, but I'm watching your face. What was this like for you? You're standing there with your son.
To go from that and seeing him at the top all bubbly to now wondering if your husband's gonna make it, wondering if your son's gonna have a father, that was a drastic change. You know, to see your husband flying into...
Did he see his dad hit the wall?
He did.
And what was his reaction?
He's traumatized, crying. crying in tears.
So you're trying to comfort him. You're frightened about your husband. You're scared.
Exactly, yes.
Pandemonium. Mr. and Mrs. Donaldson, it's my understanding from the documents that you all filed with this court that you are suing Mr. Jones for very intimate injuries that you received at his batting cage, and you're asking this court to award you $30,000 for past medicals, $130,000 for future medicals, $690,000 for pain and suffering, and $150,000 for loss of consortium, for a total award of $1 million. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Jones, you're saying you provide a batting cage. This is his fault.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, well, I understand where you stand. Now let's get into the legal sauce. Y'all went to the batting cage as batting part of your life?
We have two little boys who just love baseball as much as we do.
How old are your boys?
11. JJ's 11. Gregory is 6.
Oh, it takes me back. I got 3. They're a bit older than yours.
Yeah,
They're grown men
yeah.
with hair on their face now. Now, you took your family to the batting cage this day, right?
JJ, yes, he can hit a fastball, 60-mile-an-hour fastball. He can crank it down.
You ever get out there and swing yourself? Show them how mama
I played softball
can do
when
it?
I was in college, so that's kind of what bonded us together. But my 11-year-old, he's just got such a passion for it.
It's a family thing. We like to bond as a family.
You look like you're an athlete. Did you play some baseball?
I did actually, sir. That's actually one of my fondest childhood memories is playing baseball with my father and grandfather, which led me to opening Pete's Perfect Game.
Mr. Jones, tell me about your batting cage. How long you been doing this?
We've been open for a little over 3.5 years now.
Okay.
We have an impeccable safety record.
Now,
Excuse me?
what did you intend for families to have when they come to your batting cage?
Ultimate fun. It's safe fun.
There is no safety
Okay, and so,
if my
so
husband
if
is
it works
suffering.
out, we'll talk about that. We got a little time. We're going to talk about that. Take me to the day that this happened. What happened?
It was a great day. I mean, we did a few rounds. I even got in there to try to hit a few. He definitely showed me up.
Then what happened?
I was just watching him. I got a phone call, and it was an urgent call. I needed to take the call, so I decided to walk.
Must be pretty important to turn away from your boy.
Yeah, we've been there a little bit. It's a coworker, so I definitely needed to take the phone call. So there was an alleyway next to the batting cages. There was nobody else in the facility.
A gated alleyway.
Now, this alleyway, what's this alleyway for? What's
Primarily
it look
for maintenance, sir.
Okay.
For maintenance, employees will make it through to maintain the
There was
nets.
no signs. It was an open alleyway, open gate, no signs posted.
Okay.
To me, I assumed it was another observation area to
So
watch.
then what do? You get to the alleyway, then what happens?
I'm watching. I'm still analyzing my son's swing. I'm still coaching.
You're keeping an eye on your son.
I'm still zoned in on him.
Okay.
Correct, yeah. And then before I know it, the ball comes through the net, hits me right in my family jewels.
So, Mr. Donaldson, describe what happened and how your injury happened.
So my left testicle ruptured.
Okay.
It basically feels like the pain is just coming from my belly button down, and it is a constant pain.
Okay, Mr. Jones, were you there?
Yes, sir.
Did you see this?
I was on site. I did not see the incident take place, but I
Okay.
was on site. We have an impeccable safety record. We
All
had
right.
0
So this must have
incidents.
shocked you too.
Oh, it
One
did.
incident.
Oh, it did.
So then what did you do?
Yes, I got there. The paramedic beat me there first. We have one on staff. She
Okay.
generally tends to scrapes by passing out
You have a
Band-Aids.
paramedic on staff?
Yes, sir.
To have a paramedic on staff at a batting cage is a big deal. Wouldn't y'all agree with that?
Yeah.
So is he
I've never been the
expecting
one with a head
To
medical
me, he's
staff.
anticipating something happening.
bad happening?
Could you come over to the plasma
Yes,
and
Your
show
Honor.
me exactly how this happened? Take your time. Okay, now, when you got there and you're watching your son, where are you?
So we started here in batting cage 4. I'm in this observation area here.
Okay.
I got the phone call. As you can see, there's an alleyway right here next to the batting cages. There was nobody in any of these batting cages.
Okay, hold on for a minute, Mr. Donaldson. Mr. Jones, that area there where the X is, and
sir.
that's the alleyway, right?
Yes, sir.
What's the purpose for that?
For maintenance.
Okay,
Literally,
so no one but maintenance people should go in there.
only employees.
Is
There was
that-
nothing
sir.
posted.
Now, Mr. Donaldson, you see that swing? Is that a gate or a door? What is that?
It was an open gate, and that's exactly how it was.
So the
And
gate was open.
wide open, even more open than it shows in this diagram. It was wide open.
Okay, so you're in the observation area. Take me through all the way until your son's ball hits you below the belt.
I walked down this way. I came down here, and I was observing from the angle, from a good angle, just to see him swing. That way,
And you're on the phone?
Yeah, I didn't want to distract
Distracted.
him. Yeah, I didn't want to distract him from
While
hitting the
you were
ball.
distracted.
And then before I know it, the ball comes out of nowhere and just hits me right in my family jewels.
Ms. Reynolds, you brought your sister here with you. You're suing Mr. Thomas for injuries you sustained when this dumpster hit you and caused severe problems for you. You're asking this court to award you $40,000 for your past medicals, $60,000 for your future medicals, and $1.4 million for pain and suffering, for a total of $1.5 million. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Thomas, you believe you've taken all the safety precautions you needed to take. Had she gotten out the way, this never would have happened, true?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, well, let's get into the legal sauce. Ms. Reynolds, what brought you in contact with a dumpster this day?
Well, Your Honor, my sister and I were cleaning out our late brother's house.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you. He was a hoarder. No exaggeration about it.
As in the classic sense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
And it was more than we could handle.
That's a big job.
It was enormous. So I found the flyer from the defendant about his business, and it was something called Manly Men Waste Removal. We thought that'll be great. We contact him, thinking he's going to send us these, young, strapping, strong guys, studs, help us get this stuff out so we can sell the house.
Y'all wanted studs to move the trash.
Well, we thought if you would have seen it, that's what's needed. I'm just being honest.
So, Mr. Thomas, tell me about Manly Men. I mean, is this a group of studs that move trash?
Personally, Your Honor, I don't know what kind of men she was expecting. I've been in this business for 20 years. I've never had an accident or injury up to this point. I'm not sure what kind of men she was expecting, but I mean, you're no spring chicken yourself.
Yeah, but
Well, hold on now. Hold on. Listen. First thing we're going to do. Hold on for a minute. First thing we are going to do is let you understand this is my courtroom.
Yes, sir.
In my courtroom, no one gets insulted.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
So is this what your brother's house looked like?
Yes, Your Honor, and that's why we needed help. I was very honest with him about the situation. If it was something moderate, we could have done it ourselves. It was way beyond what we could handle.
So he shouldn't have been surprised that a big dumpster was needed.
No, and this is how he promotes his company. So I'm sorry, that's how we had an image by the way he promotes himself. So we were less than impressed when him and his partner show up and we get these two middle-aged, lazy slobs.
Okay, so hold on for a minute. There's goose and gander theory in this courtroom. Just like I don't want him to insult you, you can't insult him. We can't do that. Yes. This is a courtroom. We have decorum, and we got to respect each other, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, Ms. Reynolds, the dumpster is delivered to your brother's house. Now tell me what happened.
We had gone over the paperwork, and then all of a sudden he just left.
We didn't know where he was.
No, well, we saw him get in the truck, but he didn't give us any instructions, so I thought maybe he was going to get me a receipt or something for what we had agreed on. And the next thing that I know is this dumpster is coming down the driveway, headed straight for me. I mean, bam, it hits me, knocks me down. I hit my head on the pavement.
Mr. Thomas, I mean, this sounds like a booby trap. What happened?
I explained to her, I'm getting ready to put this dumpster down because I've got to leave it here for a couple of days. I need you to move off of the driveway.
Tell me how this happened. I see somebody with a cane there. I take it that's you.
Yes, that's me.
All right.
And here's the dumpster. So I see the dumpster rolling down the driveway straight at me. I mean, it hits me, knocks me to the ground. My head goes crashing on the driveway. It literally rolls right over me. And now I'm suffering because of his negligence.
You're suffering because you stood behind the dumpster.
Who stands behind
Yes, ma'am. That's exactly what I was thinking.
That weighs like
this
tons.
could have been a death case.